So the next thing I want to talk about is Domain 4. And as you know, you did your self-assessment of Domain 4, and I appreciate the work you put into that and getting to me on time. That was really helpful. As leaders, we sat down and looked at and did our own as well, without looking at yours, and just kind of went through some of the evidence and things that we saw, and then we put them together. So what we won't do, and what we talked about, is we're not going to talk about the things that we were aligned, because we had a lot of things that we were aligned, and I think that's great, and it speaks to kind of the collaboration we've had this year. But we will talk about a couple of discrepancies that we saw, where we weren't aligned. One of them is 4.2b, professional development. And for me, I'm thinking about what is it that I'm gathering in terms of evidence, or I've seen this year, that would move you to the 3. You scored yourself a 3, and I scored a 2, based on the evidence. So I looked at the level 3, and the thing that I'm looking at is not necessarily just engaging in professional development, but maybe seeking out the opportunities for professional development and not waiting for it to come to you, but also willingly sharing your expertise with others. We definitely think you have a lot to share, but finding ways where it's you kind of wanting to push out and support others in sharing your expertise. So that's kind of where we landed in terms of maybe not being at that 3, maybe moving towards it, but that's kind of where we are. What are your thoughts on that?
It's really surprising. I feel like I've really taken charge this year, and looking at the 2, there's this word that's just sticking with me that I can't handle, and it says limited contributions. I feel like I give up every single night going to panels, coming back and talking to you, talking with kids, seeing what's going on in other classrooms. I feel like I've gone to conferences and I've done literally everything I can think of, and the limited contributions things, I don't think I've made a limited contribution. I don't think it's fair that someone who's giving all this time, I'm willing to do all of these things, I'm willing to give up my time. Most are unpaid. I have so many other things to do. I'm a human, I don't feel like it, and this limited contributions thing, it's just completely not what I was thinking. I was thinking a 3 knocking on a 4. We are completely different, and I don't think it's fair. Like, has someone been saying, like, she's not contributing? Is there, someone who thinks that, oh, she's not, like, adding to our community? Have you heard something? Because this has not been made aware to me, and this is completely surprising and actually kind of upsetting, I think.
Okay. Well, I definitely appreciate you bringing and being comfortable to talk to me about the things that you're worried or upset about, and I can see where this can be upsetting. I know that you give a lot of your time, and it's a very personal thing for you, and I know that you definitely give of yourself, the panels, and we definitely appreciated that. So I think one of the things I want to talk about is really when we look at language in the rubric, I think there are opportunities for us to dig into and what that looks like. So I'm going to take a step back and really let you know that, looking at the rubric, I probably should have prefaced this by talking about the fact that there are places in the 2 where I think that you are very much exceeding. And when it comes to limited contributions, I can honestly tell you that I cannot say that that's how I would define your work. And so thinking about what that thinks about, I want you to know that that is not where my perception is and where I'm coming from in this conversation. Now, that may not do anything right now for you. I know that that it can be definitely upsetting. So this is what I want to do. I don't want us to get stuck because you've done some great work this year. I'd love to take some time for myself and for Ms. McGarry to think through where we got to that score and look at our evidence and look at the things that you've been doing. I would love you to take some time for yourself to go back and think through, like you talked about, what would be those things that you would share with us that would move you to that next score, that you're thinking that maybe we missed. And it's definitely possible that we missed things, and for that, we will definitely make amends and work with you on that. It's a collaborative process. I don't want us to shut the door on this, because I really do think that you and I can see where you're coming from, and hear you loud and clear, and I think that there's opportunities for us to have further conversation when it comes to this. So I don't think we need to get to a conclusion today, but I'd love to come back to this and talk it through, because I don't want you feeling that there's anybody saying that you're not contributing. It really is coming from just evidence that we didn't see necessarily to a 3, not that you were just what the 2 says. And so I would love a chance to kind of talk that through with you.
And I definitely think it's necessary. I really don't agree with the score, and I think that something needs to be done about it, because it's so personal that,
sure.
especially this one where it's kind of adding to the community. As a teacher, that's all you're doing is adding to your community.
Sure.
And I think, and I'd like to hear from other people too, what we can do around that, because I
sure.
just don't agree.
So I definitely think we can do that. So I totally understand, and I agree with you that we need to dig in more, especially because it is a personal one, and I know that you pride yourself on giving back to your community and the school community. We can bring others into this also. We have those in the home office. We have other leaders, regional directors, Jonathan, that can be a part of this, and we can get other eyes on this. And I think that's important for us to do, and we will do that, so that we can support you.
Okay.